I do not encourage single women with no children to step into the role of a stepmother without serious discernment. This is not an attack on women. This is not condemnation of blended families. And this is not denial that some people have had some great outcomes. This is wisdom shaped by watching women enter situations with good intentions and leave emotionally depleted, confused, and quietly resentful.
The mother of our children wants me to make it abundantly clear to the world at large that I did not birth them. And I thought that's fair. So let's talk about it. To clarify, I am a stepmom. The journey has not been an easy one. It has not been a straightforward one, but we're in a good place right now. I feel like you don't hear very much from us stepmoms on the internet, and there's a reason for that. Stepmoms live in this weird in-between space. You're expected to love like a parent, but you can never actually claim that role. You're supposed to show up, but don't actually step in. You need to care, but not too much. You need to give endlessly, but you cannot complain about being empty because you knew what you signed up for, which is its own complete thing. I guarantee you not a single person who's a step parent actually knew what they were signing up for because we don't talk about it. I thought I was signing up for all the things that we see in the movies, these beautiful blended families. Thought I was signing up to be a bonus mom, not their primary mom. They already have one and they don't need a new one, but an extra one. The reality is something much more nuanced. There are days when I am cooking dinner, when we're all snuggled on the couch watching movies, when I'm helping plan our daughter's parties. And then I remember that to them, I'm not mom. I am something else, something that borders on feeling temporary. And that's not their fault. As I said, they already have a mom. They don't need another one. But as a stepmom, that does mean that sometimes you find yourself in these positions where you are loving people who do not know what to call you, what to think of you, where to place you. The reason why I think you don't see a lot of stepmoms admitting what it's honestly like to be a stepmom is because the moment we admit that it's hard, we get labeled cold or jealous or bitter. Our collective cultural memory has the phrase wicked stepmother branded into it. But the reality is step parenting, especially stepmothering, is one of the most emotionally complex roles a person can step into.
Welcome back to Family Still Matters. I'm Deborah, and this channel exists to talk honestly about family, responsibility, and the long-term impact of our decisions without cultural pressure and without pretending that love alone solves structural problems. In a previous video, I spoke directly to men about stepfatherhood and why many single childless men are not prepared for what the role actually demands, nor should they. They should have their own, create their own heirs and legacy. What became unmistakably clear is that this is a conversation our community has needed to have for a very long time. And I glean that from the various and the countless comments. I thank you. Many people shared positive experiences. Many shared painful ones. Many struggled to separate their personal outcomes from the warning itself. But just as importantly, many expressed gratitude. Many said they wish someone had told them this earlier. And many affirmed that their parents had shared the very same wisdom they didn't fully understand until later. I want to be very clear about something. This is not a rebuttal. This is not a response to pressure. This is a response rooted in love and responsibility for our community, our families, and for getting this right. And because whoever you are, young lady who left me the message, I want those of you that listen to me know I read the comments and it matters much to me. You know, sometimes I'm told, oh, you shouldn't be reading all those comments and it's not a good thing. And, you know, even if I don't respond back and if it's negative, I care. I care enough to listen to what you're saying. It matters enough to me. So I'm saying this because one of my viewers rightly pointed out that I did not speak directly to the experience of a stepmother. That's why this video exists. So I'm saying to you, young lady, I heard you, I care about you, and I want to share it from your or from the point of view of a stepmother. This message is for single women who are considering marriage to a man with children and believe love, patience, and good intentions will be enough. This is not aimed at women who are already currently committed and doing the work faithfully as an additional mother or stepmother. This is not aimed at you. It is not meant to erase positive experiences. And it is not meant to shame anyone who made a different choice. This is about discernment before commitment, not judgment after the fact. Many women step into stepmother roles believing sacrifice will naturally lead to harmony. What they often encounter instead is responsibility without authority, emotional labor without covering, expectations without clarity. Over time, that imbalance shows up as exhaustion, resentment, and a quiet sense of loss. Not because women lack love, not because they lack patience, but because structure matters. Good intentions do not cancel flawed dynamics. Culturally, many of us grew up with the image of the wicked stepmother from stories like Cinderella and Snow White. But those stories didn't come from nowhere. They reflect a role that has historically placed women in deeply conflicted positions. They have been asked to nurture children they did not birth. They have been expected to love fully while being reminded of their limits. They have been criticized for discipline. They have been blamed for emotional distance and judged for not knowing where they belong. Over time, firmness becomes cruelty. Self-protection becomes coldness. That narrative persists because it's easier to place blame on a woman than to acknowledge that the role itself is often unstable and flawed. One of the most overlooked realities of stepmotherhood is this. You are expected to function like a mother without being given maternal authority. You are being told, treat them as your own, but also they already have a mother. Don't overstep. Stay in your lane. That contradiction creates emotional tension that never fully resolves. Responsibility without authority does not produce peace. It produces frustration. And many women internalize that frustration as personal failure instead of recognizing a structural imbalance. When a woman enters an established family system, she is rarely entering neutral ground. Children may feel torn by loyalty, resisting the bonding, interpret boundaries as rejection. And at the same time, the biological mother may undermine the stepmother's role, create confusion, weaponize guilt, and restrict emotional access. And in some cases, jealousy is involved. Jealousy toward the new woman, toward her stability, toward her relationship with the man she once shared a life with. That does not make every biological mother malicious, but it does make the dynamic predictable. And the stepmother is often expected to carry this quietly with grace without a complaint. I want to be clear here. I am not speaking from theory. I have been in a relationship where the option of marrying a man with children was very real. And what I observed was this. Even when people were kind, even when they were receptive, loyalty still leaned toward the child's mother. Family gatherings felt complicated. Grandparents felt torn. Everyone was navigating something unspoken. And I found myself always feeling slightly on the outside, buying gifts, showing up with a smile, doing all the things that you do from your heart when you love someone and you love their children, hoping that one day it would feel settled. The man was loving. He made me feel whole. But the additional layers, the dynamics, the emotional navigation were constant. And I had to make a sincere decision. I could love him. I could love his children. But I had to love myself too. And loving myself meant not placing myself in a role that felt like constant striving just to belong. I realized it wasn't my calling. As a woman, we have to be honest about something. We fantasize. We romanticize. We carry fairy tale expectations that love will smooth everything out in the end. We believe love covers everything. But love does not override order. Love does not erase unresolved dynamics. So when we believe love covers everything, we must realize love does not override order. Love does not erase unresolved dynamics. And love alone cannot carry a structure that was never designed to support you. Choose wisdom. Choosing wisdom is not choosing fear. It is choosing to be clear in your thinking and in your decisions. If you are a single woman, choose yourself. Do not rush because you fear being alone. Do not accept struggle as the price of marriage. And do not confuse endurance with purpose. Family still matters because women deserve truth and because God holds us accountable for the roles we choose to enter. I'm Deborah. May God continue to richly bless you and guide you to make decisions and choices rooted in wisdom. May God richly bless you. I look forward to seeing you next time. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, share it with someone, and leave a comment. Love you. Have a great day.